Hello, and welcome to the Doki Doki Literature Club Iceberg. This is my first proper attempt at making an Iceberg video, so let me know if I did good in the comments below. But without further ado, let's get started. A blind Let's Play is someone who's never heard of or played a game before, and basically they're just going through it blind. There are many good examples of these: Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, etc. This one's pretty easy to understand, so I don't think I'll go any further. This entry is talking about this creepy image which you can sometimes encounter before Sayuri's death in Act 1. The image is a heavily distorted version of a crude drawing of Sayuri hanging. In Act 1 and 2, Monica is the president of the Literature Club. However, in Act 4, Sayuri becomes president. However, that comes to a quick close when Monica deletes her and the rest of the game. Google describes a yandere as: yandere is a portmanteau of two Japanese words, the first yanderu, which means to be sick, and the second dere dere, used here for love struck. A yandere is often sweet, caring, and innocent before switching into someone who displays an extreme, often violent or psychotic level of devotion to a love interest. These characteristics line up pretty well with how Monica acts. I mean, she drove two of her friends to kill themselves, and straight up just deletes the other one. Yeah, no fucking shit. What are you doing? No, stop! Psych! This is a book that Yuri reads in Doki Doki Act 1 and 2. The book has an ominous eye on the front cover, as said by the narration. And Yuri describes the book in Act 1 as: basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. And she describes the book in Act 2 as, and I quote, basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, and the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and asphyxiating them to... oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. She also gets embarrassed when the player makes a connection of the main character to her in Act 1, while basically saying that's a terrible character to have something in common with. While in Act 2, she gets defensive and nervously tries to dismiss the player's claims. In Act 3, after Monica's deleted everyone, she starts talking to you, and one of the things she brings up is, now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess that doesn't really matter.
That is an episode from Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends from the 5th series that first aired in 1998. The episode is about... nah, I'm just kidding. What this entry is really referring to is this occurrence that can happen when making a poem in Act 2. Yeah, pretty spooky.
Fuck! Why did I just become British? I'm gonna hand this bit over to my friend Jordan since he's a big plush guy, so yeah, take it away, Jordan.
Apparently in 2019 at San Diego Comic-Con, you could buy an exclusive Monica plush based on her jump scare when she detects if OBS is being used as shown here.
Yes!
I'm just kidding. Man, this bitch, man! I can't do anything after all. This bitch lied. Let me get my medicine.
And yeah, that's about it.
While Doki Doki was still in development, Dan Salvato got freelance artist Satchely to make rough sketches of the characters' sprites as placeholders in the game. Because originally, Dan used characters he made using an online anime avatar make. However, in the files of the games, you can find an early sketch of Yuri where she's reading a book, with the player in Act 1 and 2. This seems to be some sort of composition test or placement test, whatever the word is. If you guys are more, well informed on like art and stuff, or if you guys are an artist or something like that, please let me know in the comments, because art isn't my specialty, so yeah. In Doki Doki Literature Club, Natsuki is the only girl who doesn't die. Meanwhile, Sayuri and Yuri's bad. The only thing that happens to Natsuki is she gets deleted. Alright, well, this one's gonna be a little awkward to talk about. So what this entry is saying is basically that Sayuri pads her chest. And here's what they give to back it up. So this is Sayuri's normal sprite. There's a very noticeable bulge. There's definitely something there. And then this is what Sayuri looks like after she's been, and there's literally nothing there. But in my opinion, this is probably just an artistic error, or just like cloth. Like clothing, something. Yeah, this one's a little dumb, but oh well. And I apologize if that entry made you as uncomfortable as it did to me, so yeah. On the Steam Community tab in October 14, 2017, someone made the claim of saying that Natsuki is a trap. If you don't know what a trap is, just think of a femboy and you have your answer. Personally, I believe this one to be false. There's way too much evidence to prove that, she's just not well taken care of. She's, obviously she's been abused by her father. She doesn't eat very well, causing her, to look young, because she's not able to grow, but yeah. When you open ddlc sometimes in Act 2, instead of the normal disclaimer text, it will say, "I have granted kids to hell." This is a reference to the WarioWare Touch game for the Nintendo DS. There's a song in the game known as Ashley, and when it's heavily sped up, it sounds like this. It became a meme amongst Nintendo fans, including Dan, who's already a well-established Super Smash Bros. Player, and modder. This Easter egg isn't really out of place. This is an unused song found in the files of the game. It uses the same instruments and sounds, etc., but it is very much, a different composition. Take a listen. The original release of the keychains had a white border / outline. However, in late 2019, they were removed for some unknown reason, and instead they were made to be clear. On June 28, 2018, a 15-year-old boy committed suicide. Before his death, the last thing he did was play Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm not going to make any jokes or anything about this, but I will say one thing though. Their false accusations and constant blaming of the game is absolutely disgusting, and I would like to give the kid and his family a moment of silence.